What's going on, guys? Juice Audio. I want to say Happy New Year, and I finally have the subwoofer comparison you've been looking for. We got the Kali Audio versus the Yamaha versus the JBL. This video has been requested for a long time. I finally feel like I'm ready to make this video. If you haven't already seen, the Yamaha versus the JBL is on my channel. It's one of my most viewed videos and one of my most I've interacted with and met people through that video. So go watch that first if you need to, but I'm gonna make this quick for you guys. The best subwoofer out of these three, hands down the Kali Audio. I've used this sub for a while now, and I've actually owned this JBL for like 5 years. The Yamaha I've used for 5 years. This has been like a couple months, maybe 6-7 months. And I've really put these subwoofers through the mud, right? So I put them through everything. So I'll be comparing these three subs and the different features they have, because some of these actually do have some better features, but we'll talk about that in this video. So let's get started.
So today I'm proud to say that this video is sponsored by Bucar Audio, a Danish high-end speaker company who not only makes the best looking speakers I've seen, but also some of the best sounding speakers I've heard for the price. You might be asking, why would I care about hi-fi speakers? I'm here to mix, produce, and master. Well, luckily they have just the model for you. The new HS8S are a compact full-range speaker that not only produce a lifelike sound for casual listening, but with the download of their studio master tuning, change into clinical near-field monitors. They play from 28 to 40,000 Hz at plus or minus 1 dB and feature the new high-end Purify woofer that plays deep bass with insanely low distortion. The accuracy is razor sharp with fast transients and deep soundstage, all while never being fatiguing due to their new aluminum tweeter. They are a sealed cabinet handmade out of real wood such as walnut, oak, and ash. So when you're not working on a mix, they have models from compact to tower speakers that look and sound world-class. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about them, click the link down in my description to hear about how they fit into my studio workflow.
So today I'm at the Guild Studio. If you guys don't know, this studio is at the top of a theater. It used to be a projection room that we renovated into a studio, which is pretty neat, has a lot of history in it. So if you guys are in Sacramento and you want to record or shoot some videos, just let me know. All right, so let's talk about it. First of all, Kali Audio is 500. The Yamaha was 500 at some point, I believe, and the JBL is around 300. All right, so let's start at the bottom. The JBL. This is a 10-inch sub. I don't know what its frequency response is, but it goes pretty low. I believe it's about 27 Hertz. This thing plays loud and very deep, and it's pretty fast. So the Yamaha here is an 8-inch woofer, and to be honest, this thing sounds like garbage. And I've used this in like 5 or 6 rooms. This thing sounds like it's tuned to like 100 Hertz for some reason. And you can clearly hear the box in this. And I'm not gonna bash this sub saying it's bad, because a lot of people have success with the sub. And if you tune it, it sounds good, but I hate having to tune stuff, to be honest. It's just another thing to block you when you're mixing. The Kali Audio here is two 6.5-inch woofers. We got them on each side. And they are side firing, and they fire at the exact same time. And because they work like this sub does not have any movement. Like when you touch the sub, you can't tell if it's on or off. You just hear the audio. So the main differences between these three is the JBL is a 10-inch, the Yamaha is an 8-inch, and the Kali Audios are two 6.5 woofers side firing. All three of these are ported. So looking at the back here, they all have some pretty different features, to be honest. They all have the standard 80 Hertz crossover that every sub has, which is useful. The JBL has that crossover and also an extended low frequency crossover, and this just kind of boosts the low end and makes it more like sound like a theater kind of sub. The one thing I really like about the Yamaha versus the others is that it comes with a little more tuning features. You can tune the sub and also the tops. So that's one thing that these other two subs do not have, that the Yamaha has. Going up to the Kali Audio here, we do have RCA inputs that these other two don't have, but the main thing that the Kali Audio has that these don't is a foot switch. I love this foot switch function, because sometimes you get used to mixing on a sub and having those low frequencies, but when you hit this foot switch, it's almost like having another set of monitors, because now you're monitoring on something that doesn't extend so low, and that is really super useful. Now, I'm not going to go into like specs and all that in this video, because it really does not matter. What matters is how they play, how they hold up in your studio, what works best for you. And let's talk about the sound quality of these three, right? So the JBL, I've used in many spaces. I used it for home theater. I used it for hi-fi listening. I use it in my studio mostly. This thing plays super, super low, 27 Hertz, and it gets loud. Like this sub does not top out, all right? So the Yamaha sub here is only an 8-inch. It's a smaller box. I know the specs say it goes down to like, I don't know, like 25 Hertz. And no matter what room I put it in, I've never heard that 25 Hertz. So that's some kind of gimmick they're doing there. And every engineer I've met or come across has said the same thing. I don't like this Yamaha sub. Nobody I know that owns a sub or has used it has liked it. And I've put it through a bunch of rooms. Like, I thought it was just the rooms I was in, but honestly, I put it in like 6 or 7 rooms and it sounded like trash in every room. Like, if you have no sub and then you add in the Yamaha, of course it's gonna make a difference. It's gonna sound better, but there's better options out there now. So the Kali Audio sub here, I have nothing but good things to say about. I have not heard a cleaner sub than this, even under $1,000. So this sub just disappears right when you turn it on. Like, I don't know what it does with these side firing woofers, but everything cancels out. You do not hear the box at all. So that was the big thing I noticed with this sub. I used to think this JBL sub was good, right? But now, since I've been mixing on this Kali Audio sub and I play any other sub, I can instantly hear the box. And what do I mean by that? Is like, you can hear the wood box of these. I don't know how else to describe that, but it just, you hear the wood like tone of it. But the Kali Audio is like super, super clean. It's like a sine wave bass is how I described it in my review of these. And the Kali Audio does get super, super loud. Even though there's only 2 6-inch woofers in there, do not be mistaken. This thing gets mad loud. I put it in the home theater and I watched Oppenheimer on this thing and my whole house was shaking. Like, it's crazy how much output that sub has. And another thing to note about this Kali Audio sub is in every room I put it in, the quality stays consistent. I've never found it to be like sounding completely different from room to room. I think it's something to do with having 2 woofers instead of 1, that it plays really consistent from room to room. The JBL, it does cancel out a lot more and it gets louder and peaks and has more troughs when I move it from room to room. So keep that in mind. That the Kali Audio somehow is more consistent, having 2 drivers. I'm pretty sure it has to do with having 2 drivers instead. So first of all, this box is way heavier. This is the smallest box out of all these 3, but it is the heaviest box. This thing is super dense, is built right, has front firing port, and it's super small. Like, look how small it is compared to these 3. I think it's a little bit taller than the Yamaha. It's shorter from front to back. So size is a big thing in home studios, and if you want to keep your size down, the Kali is the way to go. The JBL, on the other hand, is more of a fun subwoofer, I've noticed. If you're like using this more for home theater or for gaming, then yeah, the JBL sounds better because it has a lot more punch, but that is more of an artificial punch. So keep that in mind. So yeah, the JBL is cheaper and the Kali Audio is $200 more, but you are getting more than $200 of quality when you upgrade to the Kali Audio, all right? So you might be wondering, this guy's just a YouTuber or a studio rat. What does he know about subwoofers? And the funny thing is, I've been working as a live audio engineer a long, long time, more than I've been in the studio, about like 10, 15 years. If there's one thing I know is how subwoofers sound completely different from room to room. And one thing to keep in mind is that your room might not even want a subwoofer. It might not even be compatible. You could bring any of these subs into there and it could sound like it's not even on. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to buy a subwoofer, you need to know that your room plays a huge part in how it's going to sound. But from all these 3 subs, the most consistent has been the Kali Audio. I believe it's because it has the 2 6-inch subs that it's more consistent. It has something to do with phase. I don't know, but I put in like 6 or 7 studios and open rooms, and it's been the most consistent. So hopefully that helps with your room. And like I was saying earlier, I've been a live audio engineer for a long time. I'll put up some pictures here. And I've worked with like $300,000 line arrays and crazy expensive subwoofers. Some of the subwoofers, once you hear, you cannot unhear. Like, they sound so clear, so punchy, and so clean. But this, of course, is an outdoor space. And when we took these same subwoofers into an arena setting, I'm not even kidding you, it sounded horrible. Like, it sounded worse than the subs we had in before. So a sub's construction and its design plays a huge part in how it's going to sound in your room. And after saying all these good things about the Kali, the Yamaha might even sound better in your room than the Cali. So of course that's never happened to me in any of the rooms I've been in, but that is just an example of how tricky subwoofers are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's basically all I had to say about these subs. They're all not bad, of course, but the winner is going to be the Cali Audio. So if you want to buy this and help support my channel while you're at it, I'll have affiliate link down in the bio. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're from California or like the Sacramento, Roseville area, I would love to work with you or even just meet up for some coffee. We have a meetup every month with some audio engineers that are local here. And we're trying to get a little group of creatives going. So hit me up. I would love to hear from you. And if you guys like this style of video more, when I'm just talking off the rip, no more scripts and all that, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this new style. So happy new year, guys. I'm looking forward to this year. I have so much stuff planned with music, with companies, with videos, and I'm so excited to see where this channel goes to. So stay tuned. Cheers, guys.